It's often believed that Steve Irwin was only the crocodile hunter. How are you doing? Oh, be careful. However, that is not at all accurate. I was sent here to this world to protect nature. They are engaged in a conflict. Their environment is being destroyed, and they will eventually go extinct. Time is running out. Of time. However, after his untimely death, things became much worse. More mammal species have vanished from Australia than from any other continent. It's gone once it's gone. His kids and wife had to take over. A natural reserve named in Steve Irwin's honor is overseen by his family in terms of study and protection. Dad's very favorite spot in the whole globe. But the miners want to settle down there since it's also rich in minerals. Terri ought to be cooperating and supporting us if she truly cared about conservation. All of the grasses, trees, and other vegetation will be removed. This initiative is excellent. It is not wicked. We must stick together and support one another. Through this. You, a 10-year-old child, shouldn't be doing that in a public debate. After winning the first round of this dispute, he was granted entrance to the reserve by a court order. The state of the ecosystem is terribly being destroyed. Communities destroyed, towns annihilated. We are in danger if we take no action. Steve, take a look. Look directly there. Oh no! How is it acting? Avoid getting too near. How come it's not falling into the water? It has passed away. Terri, it's dead. It really is. Is it deceased? It has passed away. God, it's dead. We received a phone call informing us that poachers were pursuing a crocodile in North Queensland that was at risk of being shot. Do you want to come back and try to catch this? They said. Crocodile? Regretfully, the large male crocodile was not spared, and his carcass was discovered. He's lost now, lost forever. A true pity. However, we managed to capture his female. Terri, please come up here and place your entire weight directly on her. Go straight ahead, sweetie. Go straight into it. I'm quite terrified. It's all right. Go back, go back. All right, I'm back. You managed to get her? Yes. That is amazing. My purpose on this earth is to preserve wilderness regions and animals, which will ultimately benefit humankind. I want to halt the ozone layer, have the purest oceans, and be able to drink water directly from that stream. In addition to saving the planet, you know, money. I love money. I can never have too much of it, and you know what I'm going to do with it? With it, I plan to purchase wilderness places. I immediately donate every money I receive to conservation. Animals are going to go extinct if we don't get them into people's hearts in this day and age. Eastern Australia has been positioned next to the locations that have caused the greatest damage to forests worldwide. More mammal species have vanished from Australia than from any other continent. Right now, Larry, time is running out. Our creatures are dying while we stand here right now. They are destroying their ecosystem. Steve was a man of constant rush. I want to accomplish as much as I can. During my stay at this place, I simply have too much to accomplish. The fact that I have to go to sleep aggravates me greatly. Steve's willingness to go above and above to defend wildlife is what set him apart from the rest and made him a nature fighter. You know, he had no fears at all, and the most important thing to him was to encourage people to appreciate nature. One evening, after spending some time sitting by the fire, he ran in and declared, "We must have children. We must have kids," to which I replied, "Well, what's the urgency? Who are we going to leave this all to?" He said, "The very reason you were placed on Earth to carry out this task." That appears to be the case. When my kids are ready to run up our mission and pick up this football that I call wildlife conservation, I will happily move aside. I can assure you that it will be the finest moment of my life, and my work will be done. When I'm able to step aside and let them finish my task, I'll know that I've accomplished my ultimate aim. Steve once told me I'm getting to the point in my life where I would rather spend less time filming and more time as a dad. He then stated, I believe after documentary, I'm just going to take my time shooting. It was just this very, heartbreaking moment when Steve was standing at the runway and waving farewell. We all had, I don't know, a peculiar sensation of impending doom. It was simply a very strange feeling. We seemed to belong together, and I recall that Steve and I had previously stated that we would always get along as long as we were together. When I arrived at my overnight destination, they said, "You have an urgent message," and it was my brother-in-law on the phone. I was traveling, so I couldn't have phone coverage, so no one could contact me. Informed me of what transpired, I recall thinking to myself, "Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it." He was above a big stingray, swimming in shallow water. It pivoted swiftly and swung its tail fiercely. Irwin's chest was punctured by the poisonous thorn. And I thought, oh, my children, as I peered out the window. He would not have want to go from the kids. She sobbed uncontrollably when I told her everything, and I consoled her by telling her that we were still a family. Your father still adores you. Today, one of the hazardous creatures that Steve Irwin, the enthusiastic environmentalist known as the crocodile hunter, devoted his life defending, killed him, flowers are still being left as memorials at Steve's Australia Zoo. Steve Irwin was a husband and father first and foremost, but he will also be remembered as an amazing showman and an ardent environmentalist. What are you most going to miss? You know what I really, really miss? It's really self-centered. He was enjoyable. Steve was enjoyable. He didn't worry about the tiny things. Seeing the wider perspective, he enjoyed himself. I'm going to do my hardest now to enjoy myself once more. Oh, I do hope you succeed. Hi, my name is Mrs. Steve Irwin. I have high expectations for myself. The crocodile hunter tragically died less than a year ago, yet his legacy is already being attacked. Steve Irwin's family is in charge of the research and conservation of crocodiles at a reserve honoring his name. However, the miners want to settle down there since it's also rich in minerals. The mining business that is competing with the Irwins is led by Paul Messenger. Terri ought to be supporting and collaborating with us if she truly cared about environmental preservation. That concludes our discussion. This bauxite is what produces the aluminum. That right there is the ore itself. And this is what everything is about, that this substance has locked you into a battle with the mine? Certainly. Aluminum is in high demand in China. Borneo's jungles will be their source if they don't obtain it from us. Saying that this is the lesser of two evils then? This is not a bad thing. This project is excellent. I'm so worried about this and have slept so little because of it. The last location they were all together was in this beautiful rainforest. Dad loved this location more than anything in the world. There are many different animals that call this place home, and I want to observe a few of them. Just days before Steve Irwin's death anniversary, the family receives more unfavorable news. In the first phase of this dispute, Paul Messenger prevailed and was granted access to the reserve in order to conduct an environmental impact study. Terri Irwin not only lost the legal battle with Cape Alumina, but she now has to pay the business's legal costs as well. When you lose someone, you expect to be sad, but you also feel worried and a little scared at the same time. This is something they don't tell you. Taking things alone and without the support of my closest buddy. Right now, it's challenging. I'm doing my best. I understand and I'm grateful. But my prince is no more. I lost my prince. Opposition is strong and will not go away until my children run it up for me. My father was a hero. He never failed to support me when I needed him. I'm aware of Daddy's significant work. He was trying to alter the world so that everyone would share his passion for nature. He purchased a large plot of land to provide animals with a secure place to live and constructed a hospital to aid animals. I hope Daddy's passion never wanes. Like him, I wish to support wildlife that is endangered. This is where Daddy built it throughout his life. It's our turn to assist Daddy now. Inaction will put us in problem, and he went above and above, so I believe we can all contribute in some way. Like Steve Irwin, we'll be soldiers for the animals. The young children of Steve Irwin are joining the battle as miners get ready to encroach on his farm. In order to extract the desired bauxite, the mining corporation will first clear the whole area of trees, grasses, and other vegetation, after which they will remove all of the topsoil until eventually arriving at the bauxite. Nothing remains. This water supports fish, crabs, and frogs, and it feeds rainforests, therefore everything in it would perish. We are discussing complicated topics, thus I don't think this is suitable to employ a 10-year-old in such a public political discussion. Nobody made the idea that one individual could change the world more compelling than Steve. I think it's crucial to share your message with as many people as possible if you have something meaningful to say and have the chance to do so. An internet petition has been made in an effort to rally support from the general public to rescue Steve's place. The mining business opposing the Irwin family is responding to their online petition with an accusation that it is manipulative of feelings. I'm confident I can prevail. I have a lot of confidence. In 20 years, I don't want to look back on this and remark, what a shame we allowed this to happen. Proceed. I want this to be a worldwide success. It's awesome to genuinely continue where our father left off, to preserve the Steve Irwin Wildlife Reserve for next generations and to honor his legacy. The Irwin family's journey has finally come to an end after an agonizing 6-year battle that cost millions of dollars in petitions and campaign donations. A conclusion. The Steve Irwin Wildlife Region will no longer be allowed for mining, an unexpected development that will provide the region more protection than the Great Barrier Reef. This amazing wilderness region is 335,000 acres of government-protected territory, larger than the combined cities of New York and Chicago. I'm not sure how. Seeing the legacy he had established, my mother, who I have the utmost regard and affection for, said, "You know what? I'm making sure that this is going to continue and grow and bigger and better every single year. Greetings and salutations from Australia Zoo." Greetings and salutations from Australia Zoo. My parents constructed the zoo from a little, unassuming reptile park to its current state. Isn't it amazing? Our conservation properties have grown. With our current wildlife hospital, we have provided care for nearly 76,000 animals. Being a part of something that has grown even more after Steve left is something I'm really proud of. And as you might imagine, Dad was viewed by everybody as this legendary figure who, every single day, he was 100% real, but you know, Mom is the one who's kept it going. It's quite unique. We want to ensure that everything for which Dad sacrificed his life and life will always exist, and we do this by practicing conservation every day. That is my goal. I genuinely want to go on with his efforts and ensure that his message and memory are preserved. It's simply who we are. It's never really been about what we do. I'm sure he would be thrilled with what his children are accomplishing in life now. I'll gladly stand aside when they're ready to run up our task. Only then will I be able to determine that I've accomplished my main objective,